hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifested. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for the anime only fans, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content on the channel is gonna be spoiler heavy. So if you're still here, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you've already read the latest Boruto manga chapter and you're okay with me talking about spoilers. So I think right now we need to have two conversations when it comes to BoruShiki's weakness. Now, I think the first conversation is why it's actually brilliant, but I think the other conversation we need to have, and a very real conversation, is the fact that this is a potential retcon. Now, I literally just uploaded the chapter review and it's gone live. It's been live for about 10 minutes now, and I've gone through and I've reread the chapter, and that's when this whole conversation kind of got in my head a little bit about Boruto's weakness. So I think that we're in a situation where it's brilliant in the sense that Boruto has a couple of set conditions that have to be met for Momoshiki to take over. So Boruto's chakra levels have to be depleted to a pretty low level for Momoshiki to even attempt it, and in both scenarios to where we've seen Momoshiki take over Boruto's body, Boruto's been knocked unconscious. So on one hand, having both of those combinations right there, it adds a little bit more stakes to the situation, because anytime Boruto's in a battle and things get a little bit too intense and Boruto starts burning through his chakra, in the back of your mind as a reader and in the back of Boruto's mind as a character, that fear that Momoshiki can take over at any given moment, that's something that adds real tension to the story. So I'm okay with that, and honestly that really reminds me of some of the stuff that you see with Nin and Hunter x Hunter, where different types of Nin abilities require certain conditions that have to be met, and if you incorporate something like that into Boruto, I'm fine with it. You know, if you read the Naruto manga and you're completely honest with yourself, you can look at the Naruto manga and tell that Masashi Kishimoto has borrowed stuff from Hunter x Hunter in the past before. The reason why I bring that up is to say that if you borrow something from a series like Hunter x Hunter, I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I think that Kishimoto can put his own spin onto this to where it's something to where, just as the Chunin exams goes down as one of the best shonen arcs that we've gotten in modern history, I think that you could have this be one of the best weaknesses for a main protagonist that we've had out this new generation of shonen. However, this is also where we need to talk about the negative side effects of Boruto's new weakness that he has with this BoruShiki form. So if we're being honest with ourselves, this is a retcon. This is either a huge retcon that Masashi Kishimoto is just saying, I've written myself into a corner because I've taken over the writing duties of the Boruto manga, and I'm just gonna erase the walls that I've written myself into as far as the corner and continue the story like that. That's basically what a retcon's for. Retroactive continuity, where you go back and you change something that was introduced previously in the story in order to fit the current narrative of the story. And for somebody to say, well, that means Kishimoto's lost his touch, I would remind you that if you read the Naruto manga, in the Naruto manga, Kishimoto's had his fair share of retcons. This is one of those times where if Masashi Kishimoto goes this route with Boruto's weakness, there better be a very good explanation for this, because I think that he's written himself into a corner that no amount of retconning can actually fix this. So what is the retcon, some of you guys might ask? So if you go back to the Boruto and Team 7 and Kawaki battle against Boru, you had this moment where Boru's just running through all the members of the new Team 7. Sarada's using Chidori. She manages to destroy Boru's scientific ninja weapon core, and we end up finding out in the rampage after the fact that Boruto's chakra levels seemingly have hit that near zero level as well, and Momoshiki takes over Boruto's body. He goes into this BoruShiki form. This is the first time we ever see it in the manga, and BoruShiki looks down in his hand and says, this vessel is running low on chakra. So on one hand, the chakra requirement was already kind of built into the story, but Momoshiki takes Boruto's body, goes over to Naruto, and basically uses Naruto like a fuel pump, and he takes some of Naruto's chakra, and it's only a small amount of chakra. He literally took enough chakra to form a giant Rinnegan to finish off Boru. But the reason why that's so interesting is that even a small amount of chakra from Naruto is, I'm exaggerating, so don't get your numbers and crunch it and carry the two, dot the I's and expungate opponents and all the other shit, whatever the fuck you're doing, chill the fuck out. This is just merely me exaggerating, but Naruto's like 900,000 times bigger when it comes to chakra reserves than your average shinobi. And the reason why I mention this is that when you look at what you have here, where Boruto is once again in that scenario to where Boruto has hit a very low chakra level in this battle against Ishiki, and then Momoshiki takes over. He's battling against Sasuke, he's battling against Kawaki, and he gets to the point to where Kawaki starts trying to burn himself using fire release jutsu, and so Momoshiki has to absorb that chakra, and just absorbing the little bit of chakra that Kawaki is able to muster for that fire release jutsu, and I'm only saying a little bit given the fact that Kawaki, I wouldn't think Kawaki has a massive chakra reserve, nowhere near on the level what Naruto had even when Naruto was unconscious. But the fact is that if you even take that into account, let's say he's equal to what fatigued Naruto was in that situation, the fact is that he absorbed that chakra, and Boruto almost immediately was able to fight back. So that right there, that's one of those things where this is definitely a retcon, and the only saving grace that I could see Masashi Kishimoto having for this is if somewhere in the narrative for this is they say that Boruto, when he used that space-time ninjutsu to teleport himself and Ishiki to this new dimension, it drained his chakra levels closer to what you actually saw with what happened in the Boro fight, but Boruto didn't burn down all the way to that level. So like if Boruto's chakra levels were at absolute zero, like 0.005 in that battle against Boro, and everything that happened in this battle with Ishiki, if Boruto's chakra levels only reached a 3 and the minimum requirement is a 5, then I could say, okay, well, maybe if he absorbed some of that chakra from Kawaki, that was enough to push him up to that 5 to where Boruto could kind of break free. But if that's the route that they go, that's still, in my opinion, is still a little bit of a retcon, but they also have saving grace in the fact that Sasuke is just making the observation. Granted, Sasuke's observations are usually on point, but it's not something that's definitely set in stone. It's just Sasuke's hypothesis. Even Kawaki says that's a little bit of a leap in logic, so there is a little bit of wiggle room there. Honestly, I really feel like they don't know what the fuck they're doing with it. That's just my opinion though. I'm gonna wait and see if maybe something is explained later on. However, I want to know from you guys, how do you, number one, feel about this weakness for BoruShiki, and then number two, how do you feel about the retcon that we have to this portion of the story? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.